select Nuggets games here on GrantsPassNuggets.com. GP Nuggets TV is brought to you by Fields Ace Home Hardware Center, by Burger Kings of Southern Oregon Sanitation, by Bimart, by Oregon California Supply, by Les Schwab Tires, by Mox Auto Sales, Robco Incorporated, the Can-Do Company, by Riverside Ready Mix, and by MyCircleK.com. GP Nuggets TV is produced by HVTV1 Student News with producer Josh Eldridge and J. Ray Sports. Enjoy GP Nuggets TV.
Welcome to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. Getting set for Game 2 here at Harry and David Field in Medford, Oregon, as the Nuggets take on the Medford Mustangs here in Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader. Again, if you weren't here for us for Game 1, we'll give you a quick recap. The Nuggets took Game 1 6-3, led by a great pitching performance by Cameron Allison. He went 5 2/3 inning. 6 hits, 3 runs given up, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks from Allison. Very good out-of-nowhere start from him. Really didn't expect a lot coming into that one, and he really proved us wrong. He pitched a fantastic game. Losing pitcher from Medford was Ethan Whitney. Went 6 1/3 inning. Gave up 9 hits, 6 runs, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. The Nuggets jumped on Whitney early. Rogers got a base hit in the first inning, followed by Vinny Savolta. Those 2 runs came in after the bases were loaded. 2 walks by Tyrone and Nate Morgan allowed those runs to come in. In the 5th inning, Joe Johnson of Medford came in with an RBI double, made the game 5-1 in the 5th. In the 6th inning, John Gassman hit an RBI single, but even with that offense from Medford, they couldn't get the job done. Final score is 6-3. Grants Pass finished that one. Six runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 7 runners left on. Medford finished that one 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and 9 runners left on. As we get into this one, though, this is Game 2. Again, Grants Pass already looking at a split. If they could sweep here in Medford, that would be a great start. Again, this is Game 4 of the 20-game league season. 2 of the toughest teams in the Area 4, which is already a force to be reckoned with in the state of Oregon, if not the entire nation. I'm going to get started in this one. We'll get our scoreboard up for you here, and we'll get the starting lineups. Leading off for Grants Pass is going to be second baseman Nick Bastendorf, followed, of course, by right fielder Bennett Rogers. In left field, hitting third is going to be Vinny Savolta. Trey Froge is going to be playing third base and hitting fourth. Ty Rund in center field, hitting fifth. Nate Morgan is going to be designated hitting for pitcher Colton Fisher. Cade Kissel at shortstop, Sebastian Bovin at first base, and then finally hitting ninth is Josh Robbins, going to be catching as Bastendorf hit one to short. Easy ground out to begin the game for pitcher Joe Johnson of Medford. Zhang Ankeny going to find himself back at shortstop for Game 2. He was at shortstop in Game 1. A lot of the same defensive positions for Grants Pass, and we'll get the lineup for you defensively from Medford as well. A few key changes that we'll get to as we move on. That one, a fly ball into center field, is caught by center fielder Jacob Melton. So 2 quick outs bring up Vinny Savolta. Again, left fielder hitting third. Last game he did jump on Ethan Whitney, the starting pitcher, in the first game. Got a single, came around to score in the first. Could get his 2-out rally started again. We touched on this a little bit in the first game, but the Nuggets, one of those teams, they can get a rally started anywhere in the lineup. Dangerous hitters all around. Savolta falls behind. 0-1. That one from Johnson is in the dirt. He evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Johnson was at first base defensively last game for the Mustangs. Now he's on the mound Had a pretty good game offensively, but now on the mound looks to silence the Nuggets. That one bounces past the man behind the plate, Justin Geyer. Two balls and one strike, the count to Vinny Stavolta. That one misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Behind Vinny Stavolta in that lineup is Trey Froge. Should he get the chance to hit there, as that one finds his zone. Nice fastball comeback pitch by Joe Johnson. From the windup, that one swung on and missed. Stavolta goes down swinging, so a 1-2-3 inning to start the game for Joe Johnson. As Medford looks to jump on Colton Fisher early, we'll head to the bottom of the first inning. You're watching GP Nuggets TV live on GrassPassNuggets.com.
Bring you this broadcast. 60 years of our flame-grilled, freshly prepared tradition goes into every order from Burger King of Southern Oregon. From Ashland to Canyonville, Burger King. This broadcast is presented in part by Bi-Mart, who delivers value every day with weekly ads, owner's choice pricing, cyber deals, and Lucky Number Tuesday. Get ready for your season for less with Bi-Mart. Today's game is sponsored in part by Fields Ace Hardware Home Center and the Fields family. Your hometown hardware store is Fields, where you drive a little and save a lot. Fields Ace Hardware Home Center opens 7 days a week in Murphy. Burger King of Southern Oregon is proud to bring you this broadcast. 60 years of our flame-grilled, freshly prepared tradition goes into every order from Burger King of Southern Oregon. From Ashland to Canyonville, Burger King.
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. Get you the Riverside Ready Mix starting lineups for the Medford Mustangs. Hitting first is going to be Joe Johnson. He's on the mound for the Mustangs. Hitting behind him is Brendan Watts at second base. Number 3 is Jacob Melton in center field. Hitting fourth is Jack Thompson at first base. Justin Geyer behind the plate hitting fifth. Jonathan Gassman in right field is going to be the 6th man in the lineup. Wyatt Baptiste is going to be starting in left field, and then in the 9 hole is going to be Dylan Marsh at third base. Colton Fisher going to be getting the ball to start here for the Grants Pass Nuggets. He was at first base last game, and now getting the ball here, going to be tasked with this Medford Mustangs starting lineup. Again, Joe Johnson, a left-handed hitter. He shows bunt to begin with, but that pitch finds itself inside, 1-0. Fisher misses with that one as well. 2 balls to start out Joe Johnson. That one also ends up high from Colton Fisher, 3-0 to start out the leadoff hitter in the lineup. And Joe Johnson was one of the primary sources of offense from Game 1. Drove in the first run of the game for the Mustangs with a big RBI double. So now the count is 3 balls and 1 strike to him as Colton Fisher with the pitch. That one inside, so Joe Johnson going to start out the bottom half of the first with a walk. Brandon Watts hitting second in this lineup at second base. Taking his time stepping in, getting a sign from a man in the dugout. Johnson with the modest lead off of first. Fisher comes set. Fires in that one and ends up low under the knees of Brendan Watts. Bit of a bigger lead this time from first. And now one finds a zone from Colton Fisher. It's a guy who might be wild to start, but he can settle into a groove. He can set down 6 or 7 straight. It's best to get to him early and rattle his confidence, because once he finds it, he's deadly. Ground ball. Kissel up with it. And he bobbles it, trying to get it to his hand, so that'll go down as an E6, and Brennan Watts is going to find himself on first base. So now, Jacob Melton, center fielder, he pitched an inning in the last game, gave up no hits. Pretty solid, kept the Nuggets quiet in his inning of work. Hitting third in this lineup. Him and Johnson, both very dangerous hitters. Went 5 for 8 in that last game, combined, as the 1 and 3 hitters. That one finds his zone to Melton. 1 ball and 1 strike to count now. That one misses. 2-1 now the count to Jacob Melton, followed of course by Jack Thompson at first base. He was at third base last game, so just switching the corner he's at. Jacob Melton with the RBI. Joe Johnson's going to come around to score from second, and Brennan Watts is going to move up to third base. Already, Coach Mike Reese is going to head out to the mound and talk to his infield. It's never good to get a mound meeting in the very first inning, but it's something that needs to happen. You can't let this Mustangs lineup run away with this. So they've got runners at the corners with no outs here in the first. So again, that's Brennan Watts at third. Jacob Melton's going to be at first, and Jack Thompson, first baseman, is going to be at the plate, the number 4 hitter in the lineup. Decent lead off of first by Melton. He takes off. The throw down to second was in time, but Bassendorf was in front of the bag. Mustangs have yet to find an out here in the bottom of the first. Again, your score 1-0 off of that RBI single from Jacob Melton. Now 2 runners in scoring position. That one finds his zone for Colton Fisher. He needs to start throwing strikes here in the worst way. Fisher comes set. That one on the inside misses. Big lead off a third from Watts. And that pitch misses as well. Fisher having a little bit of trouble finding the zone. That one fouled, hard fouled. 2 balls, 2 strikes, count. That one could have been dangerous. Pretty cool night. The wind has cooled down as we bring you our Les Schwab Road weather report. It's 75 degrees here in Medford. Local time's about 9 o'clock. About 40 minutes north of the California border, and it's a nice night for baseball. So still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jack Thompson. So again, he has a chance to break this one wide open in the first. While they figure out what's going on at the plate, we'll bring you our updated standings as of right now in the Area 4. The Medford Lithia Dodge Mustangs are going to be 3-2 in the league. They are 20-8 overall. Grants Pass Nuggets, they're 3-2 in the league. They are 17-8 overall. The Eugene Bimart Challengers, 2-2 in the Area 4 standings. They're 13-9 overall. Roseburg Dock Stewarts are 2-2 in league. They're 11-12 overall. The Willamette Valley Titans, also another 2-2 team in the Area 4 standings, 9-12 overall. And then finally, Klamath Falls Falcons, they are 1-3. They are 11-14 overall. But season is still very young, and all these teams are still in the running, and anyone can win it. That is a swinging bunt. Colton Fisher is going to toss it on to Bovin at first for the first out of the inning. A very much needed out in the person of Jack Thompson. That brings up Justin Geyer, the catcher. He's the kind of guy, he's very patient at the plate. He will look at a lot of pitches. First pitch to him finds the zone from Fisher. Still runners at second and third. But now, 1 out. Still a fly ball will do it. Ground ball could. Corners are playing normal. You might expect Froge to play in here, but playing normal depth. Fisher comes set. I want a breaking ball. Might have been a bit low, but it finds the zone. 0-2 now to Justin Geyer. Fisher with the 0-2. That one's popped straight up. Robinson's trying to find it near the Grants Pass dugout, and he can't. Very close. Those are very tough balls to track down. A lot of backspin on those. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 your score. Medford pushed one across here in the early going. That one swung on and fouled off the shin. Those runners at second and third could bust this one wide open for the Mustangs. Colton Fisher in a very tense spot again. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. That one misses. Just low. Fisher comes set with that one as well. Good block by Robbins behind the plate. Keeps those runners at the base as they started. Give you the defensive lineups for the Nuggets rather. On the mound is, of course, Colton Fisher. We said his name. That ball lined out to left field is going to be off the wall. That one's going to knock in 2 off of the RBI double from Justin Geyer. That is a big RBI double from Justin Geyer. Knocks in 2 runs to make the score 3-0 for Medford Mustangs. Jonathan Gassman out. Number 6 hitter in the lineup. Number 7 hitter in the lineup. Starting in right field, runner in scoring position. Again, still 1 out. Colton Fisher having trouble finding his rhythm. That one comes high and in and hits him square in the back. Gassman's going to get a free base. So now Wyatt Baptiste in left field gets his chance. Number 8 hitter in the lineup. Again, starting in left field. Bastendorf holding the runner close along with Kissel at short. Almost no lead to speak of from Gassman at first, but none to really take with the runner in front of him. Infield at double play depth. That one finds his own. Colton Fisher evens the count. Nuggets definitely not where they want to be, down 3 in the first, but where they find themselves, they're going to have to battle back. Colton Fisher's going to have to battle back again. 2 balls, 1 strike. He comes set. Runners at first and second. That one misses low. That one high and in. It's going to be a walk for Baptiste as well. So now bases are going to be loaded for the number 9 hitter, Dylan Marsh. Mustangs dangerously close to batting around here. In fact, they might. The corner's in. Second base and shortstop at double play depth. Could turn 2 at anywhere. There's a force at any base, so at least the Nuggets have that on their side. That one a base hit into left field. That's going to score 1. And they're going to hold Gassman at third. So everyone moves up a base as Dylan Marsh gets an RBI single. Zach Ankeny, the starting shortstop. Base hit in the left as well. That's going to score 1, and they're going to wave around Baptiste. He's going to score as well. So a 2 RBI single from the number 9 hitter, Zach Ankeny. Robbins is going to go out there and talk to his man. Colton Fisher's just going to need to find his stride. He needs to take a breath. I mean, he's a guy who can, when he finds his stride, can retire 6 or 7 in a row, but he's just not been able to find it. Still only 1 out, and we're back to the top of the order for the Mustangs. Score is 6-0. And now Joe Johnson gets a chance here. Now into Johnson finds his own. Already 4 hits given up, 6 runs across in the first inning of play for Medford. Runners at first and second. Those runners are Dylan Marsh at first Dylan Marsh at second and Zach Ankeny at first. That one fouled straight back. Oh, 2 to Johnson. That one fouled off as well. We talked about it last game. If you weren't here, Joe Johnson, I love his swing. He's got that big leg kick that a lot of guys in the big leagues have started to adapt it. A lot of guys, it gets a lot more power. You swing into that one, you step into it, and it's really fun to see. Just a new, different way of approaching things in the batter's box. You see that one right there, and that one fisted out, and that one's going to land in left center as well. They're going to hold Marsh at third, but now the bases are loaded for Brennan Watts. So they're just going to be playing a little bit of small ball here. Everyone moves up a base, and Mike Reese coming out to talk to his guy on the mound.
Well, unfortunately, Colton Fisher, one of our Riverside Ready Mix starters of the game, unlike Cameron Allison, not able to stymie Medford in the early going. Starting lineups tonight brought to you by Riverside Ready Mix. If you're putting a sidewalk, patio, or carport or RV pad in, call Riverside Ready Mix, 476-1424, 476-1424. The Nuggets will make a call to the bullpen and will step aside. As Josh mentioned, we're not out of the first yet. The Mustangs hitting through the order for the second time lead it 6-0 on the Bi-Mart scoreboard. You're watching GP Nuggets TV live online at GrantsPassNuggets.com.
Circle K, we believe in keeping the integrity of your vehicle's paint. That's why you save 10 cents a gallon when you purchase a car wash. As rain falls, it collects pollutants and contaminants from the air. You want to do anything you can to protect your investments. At My Circle K, you can protect your paint and save at the pump. Now with every car wash purchase, you'll save 10 cents a gallon at the pumps. Find them, follow them, kick back with them. MyCircleK.com. At My Circle K, we believe.
Right-hander Nate Morgan, summons from the Nuggets bullpen, gets the call to replace starter Colton Fisher, who was blasted out of Harry and David Field with just one out. 6-0, Medford leads it, and the right-hander, who was all-world at Hidden Valley High School, met the big leagues and the 15-time state champion Medford Mustangs in a hard way here tonight in the nightcap. Grants Pass winning the opening game tonight 6-3. And Medford and Grants Pass now entering this, the fourth of 20 league games, as Josh mentioned, each tied at 3-2. Medford overall 20-18. Grants Pass with the win improves to 17-8 overall. Three non-league games tonight involving Area 4 teams. Klamath Falls is at Albany taking on the Mid-Valley Southpaws. Salem, the Dodgers, who beat Grants Pass in the Reno tournament. A stacked team with a couple of great pitchers from South Salem and West Salem. Salem Dodgers, the Withnell Salem Dodgers, hosting Klamath Falls. And the Portland Barbers in Hillsboro entertaining the Eugene Bi-Mart Challengers. Tomorrow night, there will be two league doubleheaders. Roseburg hosting Eugene at Legion Field at 6 o'clock. And in Springfield, Willamette Valley will host Klamath Falls in a 5 o'clock twin bill start. More play-by-play. Here's Josh.
Well, as you mentioned, Nate Morgan coming into the game here. Colton Fisher can only get one out. Pitch a third of an inning, 5 hits, 6 runs across, all 6 earned. He walked 2 people, and these runners on base, all 3 of them are his responsibility. So Nate Morgan looking to save the day, quite literally, for the Nuggets. Now on a ground ball.
There's one. Whew.
Froge hits third and tosses it on to first to get out of the inning. Brennan Watts grounds out into a double play. So, like I said, 5 hits, 6 runs come across for Medford in the bottom of 1. We'll head to the top of the second. Stay tuned. You're watching GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com.
This broadcast is presented in part by Bi-Mart, who delivers value every day with weekly ads, owner's choice pricing, cyber deals, and Lucky Number Tuesday. Get ready for your season for less with Bi-Mart. Today's game is sponsored in part by Fields Ace Hardware Home Center and the Fields family. Your hometown hardware store is Fields, where you drive a little and save a lot. Fields Ace Hardware Home Center opens 7 days a week in Murphy. Burger King of Southern Oregon is proud to bring you this broadcast. 60 years of our flame-grilled, freshly prepared tradition goes into every order from Burger King of Southern Oregon. From Ashland to Canyonville, Burger King. This broadcast.
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. After a monstrous first inning, the Medford Mustangs lead 6-0 on the Bi-Mart scoreboard, as you see there on the bottom of your screen. We head into the top of the second. Due up for Grants Pass is going to be Trey Froge, Tyler Rund, and I believe it's going to be Nate Morgan unless head coach Mike Reese changes the lineup around a little bit. I believe he's going to keep Nate Morgan in the lineup, a dangerous hitter in that 6-hole for sure. So, walking up, there he is, Trey Froge, the third baseman. And in case you missed it, it felt like so long ago we talked about Joe Johnson on the mound. Definitely a warhorse out there, especially at the plate too, offensively. We'll see what kind of stuff he brings when he's on the bump. He did strike out Vinny Savolta, a dangerous hitter, in the middle of this Grants Pass lineup to end the bottom of the first, or the top of the first, rather. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Trey Froge. There's a guy who did some damage in the middle part of that first game. Along with the rest of the middle of the Grants Pass lineup. Again, a lot of their damage was done in the first 3 innings of play. Trey Froge was a part of that. No balls and 2 strikes to him now, as Joe Johnson with the delivery of fastball fouled straight back. Again on deck is Tyler Rund. Behind him is going to be Nate Morgan. Still, 6 runs may seem like a lot, but for this lineup, they can overcome a 6-run lead in 1 or 2 innings, just like Medford did in the bottom of the first. But we talked about it. Coming into this ballpark, it's going to be all about Grants Pass's mindset coming into this one. They got to come here ready to play, and that's been a problem for them moving into the league part of the season. But that one popped, and he's going to grab it over there at first. That one looked dangerous for a second, like it might drop, but able to make the play. So now Tyler Rund going to get a shot here. In the first inning of the last one, he was hit by a pitch while the bases were loaded. That walked in a run.
Josh, you made a comment in between ball games, Medford warming up. I said, boy, they sure act a little cocky for getting beat 6-3. He said, no, actually, they act pretty confident, and there is a big difference, isn't there?
I think these guys have short memories, and they came out here ready to play.
Yeah, no, they got right after it, good approaches. Well coached, Nate Mabin, head coach, along with Brent Watts, Paul White, Colin Sowers, played here, was a great Mustang in 2009, 2010. Went on to play at University of Portland. I like the last at-bat from Froge, and I like this at-bat from Tyler Rund. So Medford counters with a lefty, like Grants Pass did to start it with Allison. It's a different look. You don't see a lot of lefties in the league. And under the lights, it can be difficult.
On a ground ball, Thompson is going to field it with ease, walk over to first for the second out.
But he's a crafty lefty, too. And Johnson from St. Mary's has done a tremendous job. And good little lefty. He can run a fastball by you, though, too. But works it around, got good location, changes speeds. He's not the overpowering type like Whitney when he can come after you, or Jack Thompson if he were starting. I thought we'd see Bortz maybe in the nightcap or Thompson. But here is Joe Johnson with a 6-run lead. You know, you can make a few mistakes with that kind of lead, can't you?
A guy who's already dangerous with a 6-run lead becomes a whole different kind of pitcher out there. Nate Morgan at the plate was supposed to DH, but is now pitching for the Nuggets.
Good changeup by Johnson. Well, so Bovin had started at first in our Riverside Ready Mix starting lineups. Be curious to see if Fisher will go out there defensively and get Bovin off the field. Again, he's had arm ailment, but he came in to finish it off, get the save. Being Allison's win in the opening game tonight. So the Nuggets, they've scored runs. You made a comment earlier in the Reno tournament. They went 4-2 and outscored their opponents 60-30, essentially, 2-1. They can manufacture runs, and they're going to have to now in lieu of the ill-fated start from Colton Fisher in Area 4. Welcome to Area 4, big fella.
Yeah. Guy, I mean, you said it yourself, the big fish in a little pond comes out here with the big boys and gets rocked a little bit.
But it can only do him better and well as he finishes this year as a Nugget, moving on to George Fox University. But I do like the fact that Fisher is grooming and learning more to, slider, changeup. He could get by with the fastball in the Skyline Conference to most hitters.
To his credit, I think his offense has risen to the occasion at least a little bit as Nate Morgan goes down swinging for the final out of the inning. Another 1-2-3 for Joe Johnson as he heads back to the dugout. The score on the Bi-Mart scoreboard is still 6-0. Medford leading as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Stay tuned. This is GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com.
Mox Auto Sales. Mock Ford, Lincoln, Mazda, and used cars. At Mox Auto Sales in Grants Pass, they bring you the drive of the game. Test drive a new car today with Mox. And service your vehicle with Mox Quick Lane Auto Service. Riverside Ready Mix. For your summer home improvement projects, if you're pouring a patio, a sidewalk, or a carport, make the call to Riverside Ready Mix. 476-1424. My Circle K, home of the Kickback Reward Card. Sign up for a kickback reward and get rewarded on all your purchases at My Circle K. From Central Oregon to the Rogue Valley to the Southern Oregon coast. Redeem your points just like cash on anything in the store, including gas. Find them, follow them, kick back with them. MyCircleK.com. Mox Auto Sales. Mock Ford, Lincoln, Mazda, and used cars. At Mox Auto Sales in Grants Pass, they bring you...
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. We got a new pitcher for the Nuggets. It's going to be Trey Froge. Nate Morgan, who was on the mound, is going to be moving over to third base. Sebastian Bovin, we thought might have been out of the game, is still over at first base. So a fresh start. Hopefully, for the Nuggets, they need to keep this lineup at bay, and hopefully Froge can do just that. At the top of the second, due up for Medford is going to be Jacob Melton, Jack Thompson, and Justin Geyer. Your 3, 4, and 5 hitters looking to build upon this incredible lead that Medford has gotten themselves. Again, Froge was at third base. He's moving to the mound. He's going to try to keep this lineup at bay. He's getting a little bit more warm-up pitches than usual. But his job here is to just make sure this lead doesn't get any greater. There you see behind our center field fence, Rogue Valley Manor. Looks real nice.
We're all being a year.
Looks real nice in the dark. Love the lights. We saw when it was light outside, all those planes flying overhead. We saw a few really big ones. I'm not a plane guy, but I'll tell you they were big. Jacob Melton. That's a high fly ball out into left field, out by the Harry and David scoreboard, and it's going to be off the fence. Zavolta scrambling, throws that one in. And the first hitter the Froge faces, Jacob Melton, going to lead the second inning off with a triple. That one looked like it might have had some distance coming off the bat, but it bounced high off that wall underneath the Harry and David scoreboard. So a leadoff triple puts the Mustangs in great position here. So after a brief pause again, Jack Thompson going to get a chance to expand upon this lead. Jacob Melton started this one off with a leadoff triple. Get on the Biomite scoreboard 6-0. That one finds his own, strike one. That one off the outside part of the plate. Thompson's 0 for 1. One of the few guys that is so far. Hit a little dribbler out to Colton Fisher. That one's a high fly ball. That one might be out by the fence too, but run going to stay under it near the warning track. That's going to go down as a sac fly as Melton comes in to score. So now Justin Geyer's going to get a chance. He doubled his first time around. Bases are empty, luckily for Trey Frogen. He's going to try to set down the rest of this lineup. He did get 2 RBIs in his last time around. Dangerous hitter, we mentioned. He's a guy who likes to look at some pitches, find the one he likes, and drive it. He's not going to jump on the first one he sees. A very disciplined hitter at the plate. That one a fly ball.
Deep fly ball. Zavolta rattled a little bit from the earlier at bat. Ran up against that outfield fence. Gets under that to make the catch, but Vinny appears again to be a little startled out there. Credit class move by Brett Watts, third base coach for Medford, went out down the line too to see if he was all right, as Nuggets coach Mike Reese had come out into back a short to check on Zavolta. But Medford getting under the ball now. Sac fly RBI to tack on another run. Here in the bottom of 2, leading 7-0 on the Bi-Mart scoreboard.
Jonathan Gassman swung on that one, foul tipped it. Still 1-1 to count. That one fouled off as well. He was hit his first time up. Square in the back by Colton Fisher, but he did come around to score. One of the, again, 7 runs so far for Medford. That one in the dirt.
So Boven stays in defensively at first. Thought maybe they'd get him off the field, but it's good to have him out there. He's not throwing his arm, working on that. But get on the field. This one gets through the gap. Left side, base rip for Gassman. And Medford in hot pursuit early against the Nuggets in the nightcap. Well, you got one in the bag. If you leave here, it doesn't matter what it ends up. You got a split in Medford. That's huge. Not many teams do that. Last year, the Mustangs didn't have the luxury of playing most of their league games here at Harry and David Field because of the conflict with the lease arrangement with the collegiate summer baseball team, the Medford Rogues. By the way, coached by Tyler Graham, Beaver assistant coach. Just joined the club last week after the championship. Pat Casey, Oregon State coach, was here. Gassman on the move, the pitch in low, and the throw not in time as Gassman will get a stolen base, and the Mustangs with 2 out, putting runners in scoring position again. For Wyatt Baptiste, a good contact hitter. Pat Casey down here for the Rogues game, and Dylan Pierce, former Crater Comet, throughout the first pitch. There's a wild pitch from Froge. Gassman to third. Maybe a quick game tonight, Josh. We may be home earlier than we thought. Our flight due to leave Medford International Airport tonight at 11:15. Maybe we can jump on that DC-10 and get home earlier, huh? Not looking good at this point.
I'm just frankly surprised that Medford came after a 6-3 loss with this much fire. But, I mean, I guess that's why this conference is so tough.
Froge finally gets him swinging to end it. Baptiste goes down. Breaking ball down and away, and that'll do it. But the Mustangs tack on one more run after a 6-run first inning explosion through 2 from Harry and David Field in Medford, Oregon. AAA, American Legion Area 4 League doubleheader. Go to the third. It's Medford 7. Grants Pass nothing on the Bi-Mart scoreboard. You're watching GP Nuggets TV online at GrantsPassNuggets.com.
Robco Incorporated. Robco, the can-do company since 1962. Call 476-2132. 476-2132. Robco. No job too big, no job too small. Your one-stop shop for all your construction, logging, and rigging needs and custom-made hydraulic lines and fittings is Oregon California Supply. OCS features Wright Brand and Irwin tools. Oregon California Supply, located next to Wild River Pizza in Grants Pass and just north of Vilas Road and Highway 62 in Medford. This broadcast is presented in part by Bi-Mart, who delivers value every day with weekly ads, owner's choice pricing, cyber deals, and Lucky Number Tuesday. Get ready for your season for less with Bi-Mart.
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. Score on the Bi-Mart scoreboard is 7-0. The Medford Mustangs lead the Grants Pass Nuggets in the nightcap of this twin bill. Cade Kissel, Sebastian Bovin, and Josh Robbins due up here for Grants Pass. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters looking to get at least some sort of rally started versus Joe Johnson, retiring the first 6 hitters he's faced in this start. Now on a fly ball out to right field. He's able to get under it. Gassman making the play, taking a couple steps forward, making the routine play out there in right field for the first down this inning. So Bovin's going to get a chance here. This is his first at-bat we've seen tonight. Again, starting at first base, hitting 8th in this lineup. Nice breaking ball from Johnson. That one buckled the knees of Bovin. You could see he wanted to go after that one, and then it just slowed down, pulled the string on him a little bit. Johnson looking in, finding his sign. Nice block behind the plate. Geyer stopping that one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sebastian Bovin. Big and tall, standing in that batter's box. That one's below his knees. He's going to need to get on base somehow again. As I mentioned before, still no base runners for the Nuggets in this 7-0 losing effort thus far. Look around Harry and David Field. We had a bit of a bigger crowd earlier on. Seems a few folks have gone home, but gotta love these people who stick it out for the second game. Three balls, 1 strike. Joe Johnson in danger of losing him, and he does. Sebastian Bovin going to get on with a walk, a 1-out walk, that is, which brings up Josh Robbins. North Medford graduate, again, was cut from the Mustangs, and the Nuggets were able to pick him up. Looking to do some damage against some of his good childhood friends. Decent lead off at first. Johnson's got that big leg kick in both his batting stance and his pitching delivery. He kind of comes back. Looks to me like he's going to lose balance every time he does it. That one finds his zone, evens the count at 1. Again, that Josh Robbins was another one of those guys got an RBI off a base hit in the first game. Again, the Nuggets won that one 6-3, and you wouldn't be able to tell that from the score now. But again, we talked about it. The Mustangs came out with a little bit of fire, wanting to fire back. That one in the dote. Another good block by Geyer. This will not be the last time these two teams face this season. We get a day off in between. Then on Saturday, both of these teams will be in Grants Pass at the All Sports Complex. The Nuggets will be hosting the Medford Mustangs. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Robbins. Again, that's Sebastian Bovin on first base after the walk. Now on a line drive into center field.
Melton there.
Melton doesn't have to move too much, though. Maybe a couple steps back and makes a routine catch.
Mentioned Saturday night, All Sports Park. Agnew Lytle Field, 6 o'clock start for Hall of Fame induction night in between games. The second group of inductees will be going into the Grants Pass Nuggets Wall of Fame, if you will. And the notables, Bruce Reese, current athletic director at Illinois Valley. Bruce was a Nuggets coach with Mike Reese, no relation. One is REECE. But Bruce coaching North Valley to the 1984 Baseball State Championship, and was Jacoby Ellsbury's coach at Madras High School before going on to Oregon City for 7-8 years as athletic director there, and then coming back home recently 3 years ago at Illinois Valley. Bruce Reese, Gaynor Goff, former teacher coach, Grants Pass. In fact, Coach Goff was my PE teacher at Lincoln Elementary School in Grants Pass back when kids did push-ups. Imagine that. And also a great group of players. Scott Hyde led George Fox to the D3 championship under Pat Bailey, who was Pat Casey's assistant, associate head coach with Oregon State. Morgan got Bassendorf got just a piece of that. Stay alive up there. But also is Seth Peach, former Nugget, and a good one, played at Oregon State. Probably as good as that entire group. Ryan Wilson, Seth Peach. And as I mentioned, Scott Hyde, Matt Smith from Grants Pass High School. One of the best Grants Pass cavemen ever, but unfortunately will not be in town for the induction ceremony. And the 1988 Nuggets team, coached by Mike Reese, assisted by Dan Keck, who was Klamath Union standout in the late 70s, went on to the Orioles, was Cal Ripken's roommate in minor league ball. But 1988, Grants Pass lost the state championship series, back then a best-of-3 series, to Salem McNary at the old Agnew Lytle Field, which is now, I think, C. Casa Flores. Swing and a miss. Johnson comes back fastball to retire Bastendorf. Nuggets will leave one on. They get something going at least, or try to, but can't get a runner over. And after 2.5, it remains on the Bi-Mart scoreboard. Medford 7, Grants Pass nothing. From Harry and David Field in Medford, you're watching GP Nuggets TV online at grantspassnuggets.com.
For recycling, yard debris, and solid waste disposal, Southern Oregon Sanitation is your full-service transfer station. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 5 at 1381 Redwood Avenue in Grants Pass. Southern Oregon Sanitation, your one-stop shop for all your construction, logging, and rigging needs, and custom-made hydraulic lines and fittings is Oregon California Supply. OCS features Wright Brand and Irwin tools. Oregon California Supply, located next to Wild River Pizza in Grants Pass and just north of Vilas Road and Highway 62 in Medford. Les Schwab Tires, pride in performance since 1952. When you come in, they still come running. At Les Schwab Tires, if they can't guarantee it, they won't sell it. Les Schwab Tires.
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. Score on the Bi-Mart scoreboard reads 7-0 as the Mustangs lead the Nuggets here in the bottom of the third. Trey Froge, the pitcher for the Nuggets, set to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitter in the Medford lineup. That's Dylan Marsh, Zach Ankeny, and Joe Johnson. Dangerous hitters all around, as you can see there on the bottom of your screen. 7-0 our score. 6 of those runs coming in the first inning off of Colton Fisher. Nate Morgan threw a couple pitches, got a double play, and now that's where we are with Trey Froge on the mound. So Dylan Marsh steps on, he fouls the first pitch off. Hit a single in that big first inning. Was left stranded at third base. Another ground ball. That one comes right for us. Someone next to us made a play, though. So that one misses high. And Trey Froge, not a guy I've seen pitch so far. He's looks to be all business about him, but location maybe a bit spotty. Again, Nate Morgan, who did throw a few pitches, is now over at third, over at first. We thought Fisher might come back in the game, but Sebastian Bovin still over at first. There you see him there on your screen. At second and shortstop, that's second base, that's Nick Bastendorf. And then as we move over to shortstop is going to be Cade Kissel. In left field, still out there is Vinny Savolta. He ran into a wall on a double earlier, but was shaken up a little bit. Looks to be fine. As we move over to center, Tyler Rund is going to be in center field. And as we move over into right field, it's Bennett Rogers, the number 2 hitter in the lineup, a guy whose bat has really caught fire recently and is going to need to wake it up here if the Nuggets want any shot in this one. Dylan Marsh was set down on strikes by Trey Froge, and that brought up Zach Ankeny. Again, 3 balls and 1 strike to count. That one finds the zone, so full count now to Ankeny. Behind the plate, it was Josh Robbins. That one, a ground ball to second base. Bassendorf came charging in at that one. Made the play. Quick 2 outs. Brings up Joe Johnson, the starting pitcher for the Mustangs so far. He hit twice in the first inning. Got on base twice. 1 walk, 1 base hit. And the Mustangs, big 6-run inning. They hit around in the first. Now Johnson gets a second chance here. That big leg kick in his swing. I love that leg kick. Again, Joe Johnson. He had a little bit to say about the offense in the first game, too. Again, a big RBI double was the first run of the game for the Medford Mustangs in the first one. Now looking to do some more damage here with his bat in this one, help his own cause. So that one is going to be fouled amongst the cars in the parking lot. Like I said, that big RBI double in the 5th from Joe Johnson made the score 5-1. And now, as they lead 7-0, he just looks to get on base here and help that incredible batting average. That one is hit, grounded through the middle and into center field for a base hit from Johnson. That's his 5th hit on the night for Johnson, and he is really having a day. Couple that with his pitching performance, and I am really impressed. That brings up Brennan Watts. That one finds his own. It's an E6 his first time up. The run came around to score, and then he grounded out. Was the double play to end the big first inning. Froge checked his runner. A considerable lead by Johnson off of first. He takes off. It's now on a ground ball into the hole that left Bassendorf when he tried to cover second. And now a play at third. Throw is going to be just a bit off the mark. And Johnson is going to slide into third. Head first dive. Johnson's going to want to walk that off, but good single there from Watts to move him over. And now that brings up Jacob Melton. He knocked in the first runs of the game on a 2 RBI single. And that really is what got that waterfall started for Medford. Swung on a miss. Again, runners at the corners here. That's going to be Brendan Watts at first and Joe Johnson at third. Couple base knocks, got 2 runners on. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Again, your score 7-0 on the Bi-Mart scoreboard. The Lithia Dodge Medford Mustangs are leading in this one. Froge comes set. Good block by Robbins behind the plate. That is definitely an attribute of a catcher you need right now. Someone who's not afraid to get in front of that ball and block it, knock it down when there's a runner on third base. Josh Robbins, if you were wondering, he's been behind the plate in both games. Colby Dinkle, the other catcher on this lineup, has been out for a couple days with an injury. So Josh Robbins going to be behind the plate for both of these games. And if I had to guess, probably behind the plate in both games in Grants Pass on Saturday. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Okay, that's Jacob Melton at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. That one misses. Makes the count even at 2. Melton, a dangerous hitter. Him and Johnson at the 1 and 3 spots in this lineup really do some damage. That one barely misses. 3-2 the count. More than likely that runner on first is going to be running with the full count and 2 outs. So he's got nowhere to go anyway. Again, that runner is Brendan Watts. And he'll be taken off at first movement from Trey Froge. And there he goes. That one, line drive over the third baseman's head, into center field. That scores Johnson. Diving into third is Watts. And that steal really helped him get into position to be on third base. And now Jacob Melton is going to be on second. An RBI single turned into a double on the throw. Knocks one in for the Medford Mustangs. Now the score 8-0 on your Bi-Mart scoreboard. Jack Thompson, last time around, sacrifice fly into left center field. Knocked a run home. So he's got an RBI tonight. One of the many who do in this 8-0 effort. Robbins lucky to keep that one in front of him. Good pick out of the dirt. Second and third. Those runners are Jacob Melton at second and Brendan Watts at third. Trey Froge comes set. That one misses just high. You could hear the pop of the glove from here, and that was a hard pitch. That one misses outside, and Jack Thompson is going to walk, and the bases will be loaded. For I believe Justin Geyer is going to come up, the catcher. Hit a double in the first and flew out in the second. That's Trey Froge, his first walk surrendered. Again, not all of this is him. He was not the starting pitcher, but we'll take a look at that later on. But Justin Geyer, first pitch to him is high. Trey Froge starts him out with a ball. I touched on it a little bit before. His location may be spotty, but he does throw hard. He's a third baseman, has to throw across the diamond all day, and it's shrunk down to 60 feet instead of a little over 90, and he's throwing hard. Pitching from the windup now. There's the pitch to Geyer. Robbins keeps it in front of him. You see good communication there. That's one thing I've noticed from Medford. All their players are communicating at all times. Right when that pitch hit the dirt, Geyer turned to his man at third, put the stop sign on him. That one finds his own. 3 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs to Justin Geyer. Bases loaded in this one, as now that will walk in a run. Brendan Watts will come home after that walk. Froge having a little bit of trouble finding the zone. He walks home that run. That's the 9th run in this one for Medford. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That's 4 walks in total for the Nuggets thus far. And that one gets by Robbins, hits the edge of his glove. And Melton is going to come home from third. Everyone's going to move up. So now runners at second and third. That's Thompson at third and Geyer at second. Again, Jonathan Gaspin. As I was saying, though, 4 walks given up. 2 of those have scored. The other 2 are out there on the base paths right now. Those 2 walks are Thompson and Geyer. Froge comes set. And there, that one is a strike. Good pitch on the inside. Makes this count full. So Froge can get out of this one. He's given up 2 runs in this inning, but that's better than the 4 that are in scoring position right now. As that's a ground ball. Nate Morgan going to come up with that one. The throw on to first is in time, so the Nuggets get out of this one, only giving up 2. Again, the score on your Bi-Mart scoreboard there, and you see it on the bigger part of your screen, is 9-0. Medford is leading. As we head to the top of the 4th inning, this one might not last too much longer here on GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. Stay tuned for the top of the 4th inning.
Is presented in part by Bi-Mart, who delivers value every day with weekly ads, owner's choice pricing, cyber deals, and Lucky Number Tuesday. Get ready for your season for less with Bi-Mart. Today's game is sponsored in part by Fields Ace Hardware Home Center and the Fields family. Your hometown hardware store is Fields, where you drive a little and save a lot. Fields Ace Hardware Home Center opens 7 days a week in Murphy. Burger King of Southern Oregon is proud to bring you this broadcast. 60 years of our flame-grilled, freshly prepared tradition goes into every order from Burger King of Southern Oregon. From Ashland to Canyonville, Burger King.
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. 9-0 your score here in Medford, Oregon at Harry and David Field. So we head to the top of the 4th inning. It's going to be the 2, 3, 4 guys for Grants Pass. That's Bennett Rogers, Vinny Savolta, and Trey Froge.
Good job, Glenn. You got me, man. I love it.
And Joe Johnson is still on the mound for Medford. He's pitched incredibly well. Only 1 base runner given up. That was a walk in the 3rd to Sebastian Bovin. Top of the 4th. Still I hate to say it, but no hits for the Nuggets to this point. Again, Bennett Rogers. A guy who's been on a little bit of a hot streak as of late, but like most of his comrades in this one, has not shown it. Did a little bit in the first game earlier today. Got a base hit to start the first inning rally for the Nuggets in the first game. But so far in this one, just a fly ball into center field for the out. Here's the pitch from Johnson. That one just slow. Correction, our scoreboard, it's 10-0 here, according to the Harry and David scoreboard out there in left field. After that one's fouled off, Bennett Rogers is going to stay alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him now. And Bennett Rogers could get a leadoff base hit here and at least try to mount some sort of offense and maybe some speck of momentum for the Nuggets to try to push this one. Oh, and a breaking ball. Got him looking. Buckled his knees and gets Rogers on the strikeout. Great pitch, and that is Johnson's 4th K of the game. This brings up left fielder Vinny Savolta. He struck out in the first. Banged up against that wall earlier on, but looks to be okay and hoping to start some sort of rally for the Nuggets as he takes that one up by his eyes. Again, a little bit of an error on our part. 10-0 your score is the Mustangs lead here in the top of the 4th inning. That one's inside to Zavolta as well. The first game was 6-3, Grants Pass won. So even here, you know, doesn't matter how much you lose by, really. It's just a win is a win, no matter how big it is. And coming into Medford and splitting is definitely an accomplishment in and of itself. As again, these two teams head to Grants Pass on Saturday. That one a breaking ball that finds the zone. And that pitch has been spot on. Johnson has located it every time he's thrown it so far. Zavolta gets on for a walk. Second walk surrendered by Johnson at this point. So now Trey Froge, the pitcher, was starting at third base, now on the mound. He popped out to the first baseman in his first at-bat, back in the second. But now with the runner on base, maybe a chance to start a little something for Grants Pass here. Big cut at that one. Just a tad late, though. Johnson brought the heat on that one. 0-1 to count to Trey Froge. Again, the pitcher as of right now for the Nuggets. That one swung on and missed too. Is taking these big cuts at these fastballs, but he's just late. No balls, 2 strikes to Froge. Johnson comes set, checks his runner. That one a high fastball. And Froge, the 4th hitter in this lineup. Next up would be Tyler Rund. But just as I say that, I can mention that the infield is also a double play depth, second and shortstop playing close to the bag. Zavolta being held at first. And that fastball locked him up. Another strikeout, and that one looking. Johnson with his 5th K of the night.
By the way, that's a left-hander in the 3A level from St. Mary's, Joe Johnson, blowing people away. I love his moniker. Did you see him wipe off the mound, the pitcher's plate? He takes his glove. It's it's right out of Charlie Brown, and sweeps it off with his glove. I love it. I love Joe Johnson.
Well, he's a worker out there right now.
You gotta love that. Ooh, that ball's hit hard. In the gap, maybe. Nope.
Melton puts that one away with a couple steps for the third and final out of the inning. 2 strikeouts for Johnson in this one, or in that inning. Sorry, still no runs on the board for Grants Pass as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Stay tuned. You're watching GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com.
The drive of the game. Test drive a new car today with Mox and service your vehicle with Mox Quick Lane Auto Service. Riverside Ready Mix for your summer home improvement projects. If you're pouring a patio, a sidewalk, or a carport, make the call to Riverside Ready Mix, 476-1424. My Circle K, home of the Kickback Reward Card. Sign up for a kickback reward and get rewarded on all your purchases at My Circle K. From Central Oregon to the Rogue Valley to the Southern Oregon coast. Redeem your points just like cash on anything in the store, including gas. Find them, follow them, kick back with them. MyCircleK.com.
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. Into the bottom of the 4th inning. Medford leads 10-0 over the Grants Pass Nuggets in Game 2. Due up for Medford in the bottom of the 4th, it's going to be Jonathan Gassman. Then Wyatt Baptiste. Then Dylan Marsh. Or sorry, I believe Wyatt Baptiste is going to be up first. I misspoke. Then Dylan Marsh and Zach Ankeny. So the 7, 8, and 9 hitters here in the bottom half of the 4th is Trey Froge is going to try to hold him at bay. That one swung on and chopped foul. Wyatt Baptiste struck out in his last plate appearance. Back in the 2nd inning. That one goes straight to the backstop, even as a count at 1. That one from Froge looked to be a breaking ball, broke outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Froge again. Forgot to mention this on the top half. The 3rd pitcher for the Nuggets tonight. Colton Fisher is the pitcher of record. He got 1 out in the 1st inning. Gave up 5 hits, 6 runs. That one's popped up. Bassendorf calls everyone off and makes the catch for the 1st out of the inning.
You know, that seems like eons ago, doesn't it? Fisher's opening inning, but we'd soon like to just forget about it. 6 runs he gave up. You know, talking about Medford, and the coaches walked by as I told Coach Maven, I said, boy, way to come out swinging. He said, yeah, we would like to have a few of those approaches in the first game. They weren't happy with their approach, and that's what it's about, the approach at the plate, not so much, a hit or a double or whatever. It's how you go about it. Medford hasn't won the last 4 state championships by not having an approach, or 15 state championships, something Grants Pass is so thirsty for, so close, and this team has that potential. Now you may have to take this game and just, hey, as soon as it's done, and you leave the park, say forget about it. We're going back home Saturday for a sweep. Grants Pass is one of the better teams 1 through 9 in this lineup. Speaking of 1 through 9, we go back to the original, those of you that were with us early tonight on the broadcast. Medford Mustangs, I have Coach Brent Watts, he's right there in your picture. Played All-State at Phoenix, Oregon State, was the head coach here for Medford. A couple of World Series trips. But I asked Coach Brent Watts, I said, all right, 1 through 9, who's your all-time hitting lineup? Oh, and he said, well, Melton would be in the top 10. How about some of these names? The late Monty Maccabee, who just passed away a year ago, played at San Diego State with Tony Gwynn. Monty Maccabee would have to be one of the best all-time Medford Mustangs. Here's some other names I'll throw at you. Phil Ouellette, 1994, 96, 7, somewhere in there. Took him to Bartlesville, Oklahoma, one of the World Series appearances. Phil Ouellette, a record-setting hitter. Jordy Stevens, Medford fans know who I'm talking about. Jordy Stevens held the home run record for years and years as that pitch fouled back. And some of the other names that I've mentioned, Rob Folsom, North Medford All-State running back, fullback, and catcher for North Medford, Oregon State. Evan MacArthur went on to play at Cal State Fullerton for George Horton. Here's a wild pitch by Froge, and the runner moves up. And looking at more of the Medford, 1 through 9 all-time batting lineup, Logan Odom, and I'll see if we can get our camera operator to get a picture on Logan out in left center field. I believe he's in the financial insurance business. There he is, Logan Odom, one of the greatest Mustangs ever. Pitch popped up into shallow left near the line. Zavolta coming, Kissel coming, look out. They almost collide. And Zavolta makes the catch. Kissel rolled literally and dove out of the way. But Logan Odom went on to USC, and this is before Oregon State's heyday run when USC ruled the Pac-10, Pac-12 in Stanford. But Logan Odom right there on the right, you see, one of the best ball players in the West Coast for a couple of years there. Had a short career in the pros. But it's neat to look at that. I mentioned the Nuggets lineup. I can name those going back. Monty Mendenhall, Jerry Reedy, Darrell May, who they used to have to go out to Rogue River and get him off the couch just to get him to a ball game. Well, Darrell doesn't want to come to the yard tonight. Went on to make a couple million in the Japanese League, and then the Kansas City Royals snapped him up. Living in Texas now, Darrell giving back to the Nuggets program, as did Matt Smith. So those are some great names. Brian Beck, assistant coach. The Nuggets have had their share of great ones. How about Brendan Jury, just called up from the Yankees, who Yankees win the other night. I watched him in Reno. We had one of those nights off. We watched him, I forget what it was, Tuesday afternoon. And Jury is back, called up Friday. Little blooper in the shallow right, but Bastendorf back there to make the catch. Great play by Neil Bastendorf to retire the Medford Mustangs. We'll talk more about some of the Nuggets names, Medford names, all-time great lineups in the history of these two storied programs. But tonight in the nightcap, it's all Medford, 10-0 on the Bi-Mart scoreboard. We go to the fifth. Medford with the lead. You're watching GP Nuggets TV live online at GrantsPassNuggets.com.
Robco Incorporated. Robco, the can-do company since 1962. Call 476-2132. 476-2132. Robco. No job too big, no job too small. Your one-stop shop for all your construction, logging, and rigging needs and custom-made hydraulic lines and fittings is Oregon California Supply. OCS features Wright Brand and Irwin tools. Oregon California Supply, located next to Wild River Pizza in Grants Pass and just north of Vilas Road and Highway 62 in Medford. This broadcast is presented in part by Bi-Mart, who delivers value every day with weekly ads, owner's choice pricing, cyber deals, and Lucky Number Tuesday. Get ready for your season for less with Bi-Mart.
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. This is the last chance for the Nuggets to come back into this one. Again, the top of the fifth inning. 10-run mercy rule could be in effect here as Medford leads 10-0 over the Grants Pass Nuggets. Due up is going to be Nate Morgan, Cade Kissel, and Sebastian Bovin, the 6, 7, 8 hitters in the lineup for Grants Pass.
Give Ryan Sandoval a hand right there, number one. He's got our backside, otherwise we're eating a few knuckleballs.
He's covering our broadcast equipment.
This could do it.
We need one. We need a hit. Joe Johnson still has not given up a hit to this Grants Pass lineup.
All right, not to steal the thunder from Nate Morgan. to lead off the top of the fifth, down 10-zip. But I'm going to throw another Medford Mustang name, all-time great one. He saved Nolan Ryan's 300th win. Currently the rehab pitching coordinator for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Brad Arnsberg, saved Nolan Ryan's 300th game. He would be in the Mustang all-time 1 through 9 lineup. Morgan under that one. Fly ball, deep left field, and fair ball. But it'll bounce out of play. It'll be a ground rule double. Left fielder over to give chase.
That was the left fielder, Wyatt Baptiste.
We don't have him down here anywhere. How soon we forgot spring training at Grants Pass High School. But Baptiste can't catch it. Was that Baptiste?
Yes,
yeah,
it
it
was.
is. Okay. I get him and Sandoval mixed up. But so the Nuggets, what do you know? Nate Morgan, a leadoff ground rule double. Well hit, though. And maybe can prevent the 10-run mercy rule from being invoked tonight. Geyer going to go out to the mound and talk with lefty Joe Johnson. You can call me Joe. You can call me anything you want. I'm Johnson, man, and I can throw. He can play the game. He's a good ball player, I'll tell you what. See him wipe off the mound? Got a shot of it right there. I love it. He reaches down with his glove and it cleans the pitcher's slate. I love it. Anyway, some great ones. Matt Mahaffey, another great Mustang. I'm going to say 75, 76. Jordy Stevens in the early 80s with Arnsberg. Those two were big names. Monty Maccabee as well in that era. Then you get into the 90s. Phil Ouellette and Logan Odom. Some pretty good pitchers, too. I mentioned Sam Gaviglio, one of the most notable in 2010. He was an Ashland kid. At the time, Medford took Ashland kids and gave up Crater and Eagle Point to the Grants Pass Legion program to draft, if you will.
So with Nate Morgan at second base, this one isn't over yet. They could put a run on the board, and we could be headed to the bottom half.
Got to get Coach Diotti to move out of our line of sight, huh? Right in the way. Coach Diotti's right in the line of sight. There we go. Now you see Cade Kissel there. Boy, he's hit the ball well. Remember, you had mentioned 0 for 10 at one time, and then all of a sudden, boy, the lid came off of that thing, and Kissel came to life, but he's punched out there. Strike three. Good pitch by Joe Johnson. Man, oh, man.
It's a sixth punch out of the ball game in
All right,
5
watch
innings.
when he goes to the mound now. Watch. You ready? He'll get up there. Watch. Here comes the glove. You ready? Here we go. Here it comes. There it is. I love it. Joe Johnson. He's our Bimart player of the game tonight, just for that in itself. Is that old school or what?
I like it.
I do too. When you have your eyes up looking, you can see all kinds of things. There's a book called Eyes Up. Terry Shea wrote it, former quarterback coach for Dan Fouts, Stafford, RG3. Fisher way off of that one.
That's
That's
Sebastian
Cade
Bovin.
King. Oh, that's King.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's big Cade King.
I thought the number was wrong.
Johnson just going to throw him as Kevin Towers, the late Medford Mustang, former GM of the Padres Diamondbacks, would say, doo-doo. And there's another one he turns over for strike two, and King back on his feet, down 0-2. Nuggets need a run to prevent the 10-run mercy rule from being invoked and call it a night. But, again, you got to leave here and say, fine, we got the first one. Forget that one. And away we go. Throw back to second. Got him. Ooh.
Ooh, that was close.
Oh, that was more than close. Nuggets are going to stay alive.
Wow.
Well, you got the umpire working on the infield with a runner on there at second. I don't understand that. Number one. And number two, by the time you turn back and look, you've missed the play. There's strike three, and down goes Cade King. Nuggets down to perhaps their final out, and it rests on Josh Robbins. Robbins, a good pull hitter. He'd love nothing better to get a hold of one right here against Johnson and the Medford Mustangs. He's a North Medford graduate, cut by Medford. And it's up to Josh Robbins. Saturday night, 6 o'clock, first pitch. We'll have the second game broadcast, but invite you to pack the park for Hall of Fame induction night. You'll see two of the best teams in Area 4 and the state go head-to-head again. Slider for a fastball in there for a strike from Johnson. Job by Geyer working behind the dish tonight, ready up and throwing if he needed to. 10 runs, 10 hits for the Mustangs, and a one-hit shutout going for lefty. You see him right there, Joe Old School Johnson out of St. Mary's High School.
We call him Shoeless Joe.
Tell you what, you can call him whatever. Like he said, you can call me Joe, you can call me Johnson, but give me the ball. I'm gonna ball hard. Good pitch. Robbins doesn't need to swing here. Waiting on deck.
Waiting on deck is Nick Bassendorf. That's the top of the lineup.
There's ball 4. So maybe, just maybe, 2-out rally time. Get a run here, and you extend this game another 6 outs, or at least 3 more.
Yeah.
And maybe make something happen. You're at the top of the lineup with Bastendorf. You got a chance here to get to Johnson. Maybe he makes a mistake here. Maybe that pitcher's plate isn't completely dusted off and clean.
Bastendorf, he's due. He's been a little bit quiet at the top of the lineup tonight so far, so this is his time right here. As good a time as any. Hard cut right through that one.
Good swing on it, though. Coming up tomorrow night, Roseburg will host Eugene. 6 o'clock start at Legion Field. Willamette Valley entertains Klamath Falls in a 5 p.m. start at the Hamlin Sports Complex at the middle school in Springfield. Off-speed changeup down low from Johnson. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bastendorf. Nugget second baseman, Crater High School graduate this year and a state champion. And starting pitcher Trey Froge leading the Comets and head coach Jake Campbell to that 5A championship blue coveted trophy. The 1-1 fouled back, Bastendorf on it. Bastendorf a good 2-strike hitter. Well, Johnson, what's been his out pitch? It's been a fastball.
It's been a fastball. Guy's expecting breaking ball, and he blows it right by him.
Yep.
He's done that 4 or 5 times now already. 7 Ks.
Yeah, 7 strikeouts. And, I mean, just not flashy because all the attention was to the 10 runs on 10 hits.
Mm-hmm.
See what Basti can do here. That'll do it. So the Mustangs come back behind Joe Johnson, the left-hander, with 8 strikeouts, a 1-hit shutout victory in 5 innings. The mercy rule invoked. Final score on the Bi-Mart scoreboard. Medford Mustangs 10, the Grants Pass Nuggets nothing. Doubleheader split in Area 4 AAA League play. The Mustangs and Nuggets split, and they'll meet Saturday night in Grants Pass. Final again on the Bi-Mart scoreboard in Game 2. Medford 10, Grants Pass nothing. The Nuggets win the opening game 6-3. Back to recap it all for you. Right after this, you're watching GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com.
in keeping the integrity of your vehicle's paint. That's why you save 10 cents a gallon when you purchase a car wash. As rain falls, it collects pollutants and contaminants from the air. You want to do anything you can to protect your investments. At My Circle K, you can protect your paint and save at the pump. Now with every car wash purchase, you'll save 10 cents a gallon at the pumps. Find them, follow them, kick back with them. MyCircleK.com.
Welcome back to GP Nuggets TV live on GrantsPassNuggets.com. Both these games are finished here in Medford, Oregon. It's split here in Medford. Game 1 won 6-3 by the Nuggets. There you see out in right field. Game 2, the score you see on the bottom of your screen right there, 10-0. Medford 10-run rules the Nuggets here at home. I'll give you a quick recap of both games if you missed it. First game went very well for Grants Pass. Cameron Allison, the winning pitcher, went 5 2/3 inning, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, got across, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks. Not bad at all from Allison, the left-hander from North Valley. Losing pitcher in Game 1 was Ethan Whitney, went 6 1/3, gave up 9 hits, 6 runs came across, 3 strikeouts as well. Gave up a few walks. They came out swinging, the Nuggets did in that first game. Rogers and Zavolta both getting back-to-back hits in that first inning. Ty Run and Nate Morgan walked a couple runs in after the bases were loaded. In the 5th, Joe Johnson came in with an RBI double, made the score 5-1. But even his best effort could not get the Mustangs a win there, as the final score was 6-3. Grants Pass totals for that one: 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 7 runners left on base. While Medford in the first game, 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and 9 runners left on base in that one. Looking at this one, though, a completely different story. Medford forgot about that first game, having short memory, and beating the Nuggets here 10-0. I think really the greatest thing we could talk about is Joe Johnson pitching a 1-hit shutout through 5 innings, striking out 8, only walking 3 guys, and really just commanding every pitch he threw. A great breaking ball tonight, just fantastic job all around. Holding, again, like I said, the Nuggets to only 1 hit. Totals in that one go: Medford 10 runs on 10 hits, no errors, 4 runners left on. For Grants Pass, no runs on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 1 runner left on for Grants Pass. So we give you the full look at the Area 4 standings. The Medford Mustangs are on top. They're 4-2 overall. They are 21-8 overall. The Grants Pass Nuggets are 3-3 in the league, 17-9 overall. Eugene Bimart Challengers are 2-2. They're 13-9 overall. The Roseburg Dock Stewarts are 2-2. They're 11-12 overall. Willamette Valley Titans in the 4th spot. They are 2-2 overall. They are 9-12 overall. Sorry, 2-2 in league, 9-12 overall. And the Klamath Falls Titans, are 1-3 and 10-13 overall in the Area 4 standings. Tomorrow, Roseburg versus Eugene, 6 p.m. That's going to be a doubleheader. Good league action coming your way there. And then after that, it's going to be Willamette Valley and Klamath Falls at a 5 p.m. start. Again, a doubleheader. But we can keep our eyes on these two teams on Saturday. Grants Pass is going to be hosting Medford for 2 starting at 6. You can catch the second game of that doubleheader on, sorry about that, on right here on GrantsPassNuggets.com. Also, Eugene and Roseburg playing again at 5 p.m. A doubleheader there in Klamath Falls, Willamette Valley, continuing their 4-game set at 5 p.m. That'll do it for us here. I hope you enjoyed both broadcasts. If you stuck with us, thank you so much for joining us. We really love getting this program off the ground here that we've started here on GrantsPassNuggets.com and on YouTube Live, of course. Go ahead and, like I said, check out the website, GrantsPassNuggets.com, for all your latest Nuggets news, standings concerning the Area 4, really anything American Legion Baseball, you'll find it right there. I'd like to thank you for joining us, and join us for the next one on Saturday. This has been Grants Pass Nuggets TV on GrantsPassNuggets.com. I've been Josh Eldridge along with my partner Jay Reese. Thank you, and good night from Medford, Oregon.